We all have experienced the following situation. After several hours in an overfilled room, we start to get tired. You might be at work listening to a person conducting a training, or you might be listening to the boring lecture the professor holds in front of the crowded room. You start to fall asleep and you blame it on the boring lecture or meeting. The air quality becomes worse and worse because of undesirable exhalations and the oxygen starts to run out. Doesn't it? That is at least what people tell. It is the oxygen. In today's episode, we will show you that it is not the oxygen but another compound in the air that makes you feel tired or sleepy. What is air? Pure air is a chemical composition of the gases nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide, helium, and a few other gases. We speak of pure air because the air in our atmosphere can contain particles like dust, pollen, etc. We usually don't see, feel, or taste air, but it is surrounding us. A good example to prove a glass is not empty is to turn it 180 degrees and hold it under water. If you reverse it again underwater, you will see an air bubble rising towards the surface. So what does the air consist of? It consists of around 78% nitrogen, approximately 21% of oxygen, 0.04% of carbon dioxide, and the rest is made up of other gases such as hydrogen, helium, argon, methane, etc. In this video, we will focus on two certain compounds of the air, the oxygen and carbon dioxide. Without oxygen in air, all organisms that rely on aerobic metabolism would be dead. That includes us and most of the animals that we see around us. Aerobic metabolism means that energy in the cells is received in presence of oxygen. The opposite is the anaerobic metabolism, which wins energy in the absence of oxygen. We have different ways to absorb oxygen from the air. First of all, we can introduce oxygen through our skin. Yes, you got it right. Breathing through our skin. This is called cutaneous respiration, and around 1% of the oxygen we get is from cutaneous respiration. You can imagine this as a gas exchange through our skin due to diffusion. The second and the most significant way to obtain oxygen is using our lungs. An adult breathes around 11 to 15 times a minute, while newborns breathe up to 50 times a minute. Every breath that we adults take contains around half a liter of oxygen. Also, we inhale about 21% of oxygen and 0.04% of carbon dioxide. Like described, the aerobic metabolism needs oxygen in order to win energy. Most of us know that one source of energy is glucose. During the anaerobic metabolism, glucose and oxygen react to carbon dioxide and water. In this reaction, energy is won, which we need to live. One of the first things taught in biology classes is that animals breathe in oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide, while plants take in carbon dioxide during the day and release oxygen. In a process called photosynthesis, plants use the energy in sunlight to convert carbon dioxide and water to sugar and oxygen. The plants use this sugar for food that we use to when we eat plants or animals that have eaten plants, and they release the oxygen into the atmosphere. If it were not for plants, we would not have any oxygen in our air. Yes, there is one particular element which is supposed to inhale in oxygen and releases oxygen. The holy cow. At least, according to the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. This information, or rather misinformation, we will safely deposit in our pale blue trash can, and we will continue. Now comes the most important thing, which is relevant for our video. While we inhale 21% of oxygen and 0.04% of carbon dioxide, we exhale 17% of oxygen and 4% of carbon dioxide. It is not the concentration of oxygen that makes you feel tired in this case. It is carbon dioxide. We exhale a 1,000-fold concentration of this gas, which can have negative impact on us. Here are the effects on humans depending on the different concentrations of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Other compounds that can make us feel sick are so-called volatile organic compounds or VOCs. VOCs are chemicals that easily become gases or vapor. A good example is burning fuel, gasoline, wood, etc. The smaller the room, the faster the concentration of the carbon dioxide which rises. The solution, by the way, is simple. Open the windows and ventilate the room. To sum up, in an overcrowded room, the concentration of oxygen doesn't change significantly, but carbon dioxide does. So the next time you're at a boring lecture or a long-winded meeting, just open the windows or a door and you will stay as fresh as a pea.